Hello and welcome to the channel. Our today's story is very interesting. I hope you will enjoy it. If you are new here, subscribe to our channel because we bring original stories with human narration to give you best listening experience. So let's start today's story.
Claire never thought life would become so quiet. 2 years earlier, she had married Daniel, a kind and patient man. He was a widower. He also had a 16 years old son, Ethan. Claire knew becoming a stepmother would not be easy. She never tried to replace Ethan's mom. She simply hoped one day he would trust her, but Ethan kept his distance. He was polite. He never argued. He never caused trouble. Yet every conversation felt short. Every smile disappeared too quickly. Sometimes Claire wondered, does he even want me here? Daniel always noticed her worry. One evening he smiled. He'll come around. He just needs time. Claire nodded. She wanted to believe him. Weeks passed. Nothing really changed. The house was peaceful, but it never felt completely warm. Then Daniel received an unexpected work assignment. He had to travel for 5 days. Before leaving, he hugged Claire. You two will be fine. Then he looked at Ethan. Take care of each other. Ethan quietly replied, I will. Claire smiled, but she wasn't sure he meant it. The first day felt normal. Breakfast was quiet, dinner was quiet, the television filled the silence. Claire tried making Ethan's favorite pasta. I heard you like this. He looked surprised. You remembered? She smiled. Your dad mentioned it. For the first time, Ethan smiled back. It lasted only a second. Still, it meant something. Claire felt hopeful. The next morning, she noticed something unusual. Ethan looked tired. Dark circles rested under his eyes. Everything okay? He forced a smile. Just couldn't sleep. Claire wanted to ask more, but she stopped herself. Some questions needed patience. That afternoon, heavy rain covered the neighborhood. The power flickered twice. Thunder echoed outside. Claire decided to organize old family boxes in the guest room. She found old photo albums. Daniel, much younger, little Ethan, laughing beside his mother. Claire gently closed the album. She whispered, You were loved so much. She placed it back carefully. As evening arrived, the rain became stronger. The light suddenly went out. The whole house became dark. Claire searched for candles. She found only one flashlight. Ethan, she called. No answer. She walked through the hallway. Still nothing. Her heart beat fast. Then she heard soft footsteps upstairs. She returned to her bedroom thinking Ethan had already gone to sleep. She sat on the edge of the bed, listening to the storm. A quiet knock came at her door. Before she answered, the door slowly opened. Ethan stood there. His face looked pale. His eyes were filled with emotion. He wasn't scared. He looked uncertain. Claire, he said softly, I found something. He stepped into the room, holding an old envelope in his hand. Claire had never seen it before. Her heart suddenly raced. She had no idea that the paper inside would change how she saw Ethan, Daniel, and their family forever. She looked at the envelope, then back at Ethan. Neither of them spoke. Outside, the thunder faded. Inside, a much bigger storm was just beginning. Claire slowly stood up. She looked at the old envelope. It was yellow with age. Her name was not on it, neither was Ethan's. Only one word was written across the front, family. Claire looked at Ethan. Where did you find this? He pointed towards the guest room. It was inside one of the photo albums. I almost missed it. Claire carefully opened the envelope. Inside was a folded letter. The handwriting was neat. Daniel's name appeared at the bottom. She looked confused. This is for your dad, Ethan nodded. I've never seen it before. Claire unfolded the paper. The letter was never mailed. It looked unfinished. She began reading quietly. If you are reading this, then life has taken a path I never expected. Claire stopped. Her hands trembled. She continued. I hope Ethan grows into a kind young man. I hope he never feels alone. And if I ever find love again, I pray he gives that person a chance. Claire looked up. Neither of them spoke. The room felt silent. She kept reading. Ethan has a big heart. He hides his feelings. He smiles when he wants to cry. He acts strong when he feels lost. Claire noticed Ethan lowering his head. His eyes became wet. She gently folded the letter. Your dad knows you very well. Ethan gave a small laugh. Too well. A long silence followed. Finally, Ethan spoke. I need to tell you something. Claire listened carefully. When Dad married you, I was angry. Not because of you, because I thought. He stopped. Claire waited patiently. I thought loving you would mean forgetting Mom. His voice cracked. I felt guilty every time I smiled around you. Claire's eyes filled with tears. She slowly walked closer. You never had to choose. You can love your mom forever and still let someone care about you. Ethan looked at her. I know that now. I just learned it too late. Claire shook her head. No, it's never too late. Ethan smiled sadly. You have always been kind. I was the one who kept building walls. Claire answered softly. Walls can come down. They don't have to stay forever. For the first time, they talked honestly, not as strangers, not as people forced to live together, but as two people carrying different kinds of pain. The storm outside finally ended. Moonlight entered through the window. Everything felt calmer. Then Ethan remembered something. There was something else. Claire frowned. What do you mean? He reached into his pocket. There wasn't only one letter. He carefully pulled out a small silver key. It was attached to a faded tag. On the tag were four handwritten words. For the right time. Claire stared at the key. Her heartbeat quickened again. What could it open, and why had Daniel hidden it for so many years? She had a feeling the biggest family secret had not been found yet. It was only waiting to be unlocked. Claire gently took the small silver key. She turned it over in her hand. It looked old, almost forgotten. Ethan watched her closely. What do you think it opens? Claire smiled. I honestly don't know. They searched the guest room first. Nothing matched. Then they checked the hallway cabinet. Still nothing. The mystery only grew. Claire was about to give up, then Ethan stopped. Wait, I have seen a box like this before. Where? In Dad's home office. They walked downstairs together. Daniel's office was neat. Every book was in place, every drawer was locked except one. Inside the bottom drawer sat a small wooden box. It had no label, only an old keyhole. Claire looked at Ethan. He slowly handed her the key. Try it. He took a deep breath. The key fit perfectly. With a small click, the box opened. Inside were several family photos, a small journal, and a tiny velvet pouch. Claire carefully opened the journal first. The first page was written by Dania. If you found this, then maybe the time is right. Claire continued reading. I want Ethan to find happiness again. I want Claire to know something. I saw the way both of you tried. You were careful with each other, but fear kept you apart. Claire smiled through tears. Daniel noticed everything. The next pages were filled with memories. Daniel had written about family dinners, school events, birthdays, even the small moments. One sentence caught Claire's attention. The strongest families are not built by blood alone, they are built by trust. Claire quietly closed the journal. Ethan looked emotional. I never knew Dad wrote like this. Claire nodded. He wrote from his heart. Then Ethan picked up the velvet pouch. Inside was a simple necklace. A tiny silver heart hung from it. Beneath it was a folded note. Claire opened it. It read, This belonged to my late wife. I hope one day it reminds Ethan that love never disappears. It simply makes rooms for more. Ethan held the necklace carefully. His eyes filled with tears. I think Mom would want us to be okay. Claire smiled gently. I believe she would. Without thinking, Ethan stepped forward. He gave Claire a warm hug. It was the first hug they had ever shared. Neither of them wanted to let go too quickly. Years of distance seemed to melt away. At that moment, they no longer felt like strangers living in the same house. They finally felt like family. Just then, Claire's phone rang. The screen showed Daniel's name. She answered with a smile, but her smile slowly faded. Daniel sounded worried. My trip ended early. I'm coming home tonight. He paused for a moment. There's something important I need to tell both of you. Claire looked at Ethan. He could hear the concern in his father's voice. Whatever Daniel wanted to share, it was bigger than the letters, the journal, or even the hidden key. Neither of them knew that the next conversation would change their family forever. Claire and Ethan waited in the living room. Neither of them said much. The wooden box sat on the coffee table. The journal rested beside it. An hour later, headlights appeared outside. Daniel stepped through the front door. He looked tired and relieved to be home. He smiled when he saw them together. Then he noticed the open box. His expression changed. You found it, Claire nodded. We found everything. Daniel sat down quietly. For a moment, he simply looked at the journal. I always wondered when this day would come. Ethan spoke first. Dad, why didn't you tell us? Daniel took a slow breath. Because healing cannot be forced. I hoped life would bring you both together naturally. He looked at Ethan. When your mom passed away, I was afraid. I wasn't only worried about myself, I was worried about you. Ethan listened carefully. I thought if I pushed too hard, you would pull away. Then Daniel turned towards Claire. And I never wanted you to feel like you had to earn your place in this family. Claire's eyes filled with tears. I always felt I had to. Daniel gently shook his head. You became part of this family the day we married. You never had to replace anyone, you only had to be yourself. Silence filled the room. This time it was a peaceful silence. Ethan smiled softly. I spent so much time protecting mom's memory. I forgot she taught me to love people. Daniel nodded. Your mother believed love grows, it never runs out. Ethan looked at Claire. I'm sorry for every cold answer. I'm sorry for every wall I built. Claire smiled warmly. You don't owe me a perfect past. I'm just thankful for today. Daniel laughed quietly. I think she would be proud of both of you. That weekend, the three of them visited the local park. They shared lunch, they laughed, they looked through family photos together. For the first time, new memories stood beside the old ones, not replacing them, adding to them. A few weeks later, Claire placed the silver necklace inside a small glass frame. Next to it, she added one sentence from Daniel's journal. The strongest families are built by trust. The frame rested on the living room shelf. Everyone who visited noticed it. Few knew the story behind it, but the three of them always smiled when they saw it. Years later, Ethan graduated from college. As he walked across the stage, he spotted Daniel and Claire cheering louder than anyone else. After the ceremony, he hugged his father. Then he turned to Claire. Without hesitation, he smiled and said, Thank you for never giving up on me. Claire hugged him tightly. I never will. At that moment, she realized something beautiful. The day Ethan walked into her room wasn't bringing a hidden letter. He was bringing an open heart. That simple step changed everything. Because a family is not defined only by the people who come into our lives, it is defined by the people who choose day after day to stay, to forgive, and to love. And sometimes the smallest knock on a bedroom door becomes the beginning of the happiest chapter a family will ever write.